All right. We're live.
We're live.
We are live.
Excellent.
We are in a new studio, my apartment. We have Gandhi watching over us. Yeah, so we're back.
Too early on a Saturday morning.
It's supposed to be Saturday morning talk, but it's technically after 12, so it's technically the afternoon. But we're going to keep this one short and sweet. Probably like 15, 20 minutes. I don't think anyone's going to actually show up to this. But, we're out here grinding anyway. All right, so this episode 13, the tag-along. Cass ends up going home. Initial reactions having just watched the episode.
So seeing Cass go home, it was like she was playing a really down low game. She was playing real like under the radar, kind of behind Holly's shadow the entire time. So her going home, I think one great move on the majority lines from now Zach, Sabrina, Lydia, and Madison. But really bad for Holly, like super bad for Holly. Mm-hmm. I think Holly's probably just went from like top of this game to like probably bottom. I mean, there's only 7 people left, so bottom 3, but like probably I wouldn't be surprised if she went home next. Like she just got her number 1 taken out. She didn't vote with an alliance. It was just her and Cass that voted together. Lindsay and Kevin wrote down Lydia and Zach. I forgot what the word is in like that order. Like Lydia voted. Doesn't matter.
Respectively.
Yes. Respectively. So I really just think that it was really good for 4 people in this game and just really bad for the other 3. And the other 3 who couldn't figure out to just band together this episode and stick with a vote. They could have had another rock draw, but they just, I don't know. It feels like they kind of blew it.
Excuse me. So you just brought up Holly. Her number 1, she's been with Cass the whole game. She's gone. What can Holly do to make another final push in this game? Or is she just stuck in the water?
You're never stuck in Survivor. There's always a way to weasel your way out of the situation. I think for Holly, what she has going for her is 1, she's an immunity threat, so she can win an immunity if she has to at the right time. 2, I think that even though she's been working with kind of just like the same people the entire time, she's a personable person and she can navigate and make a relationship. She could make a pitch to Sabrina, I see. Even though Sabrina was pretty mad at her at the beginning of the episode for the Joe vote. But like every week it changes. So maybe next week something else will come up that Holly can take advantage of and then form a relationship with Sabrina or Lydia or pull Zach back in. Mm-hmm. I don't know if her and Madison would ever work together. It doesn't seem like it. They've seemed to have been at opposite ends of this game the entire time. Even back to when we were on Body together. I was in one alliance with Holly and one alliance with Madison. And it's hard to keep them from going at each other. Or hard to keep Madison from going after Holly at first. Holly really didn't have any targets in the beginning. Yeah. But Holly was Madison's target for a right reason. She had a very good position in the beginning of this game. I was targeting her too because of it. And it got brought up earlier too by Lindsay. Lindsay was talking about how Holly is poised to win this game and Zach. They're all worried about her connections. And it's something that this episode was this just round of the final 8 was so critical for her. And it kind of, I feel like, made or broke her game. Mm-hmm. And it broke it.
Mm-hmm. I just had a good question and then I forgot it. So is anyone else in a worse position now outside of Holly? Like who else suffered from, or who else game was hurt from Cass being voted out?
I think Kevin's was hurt a little bit. Like him, Holly, and Cass were close. Even if Holly and Cass were closer, Cassie was someone who was never going to get mad at Kevin. Mm-hmm. Like she was going to get frustrated with him, but they're 2 good friends where she wasn't going to get mad at him. So with all the flip-flopping he does do, keeping Cassidy in would have been very helpful for him. Mm-hmm. And I think they were thinking more, who do they each want out this week? Holly was very adamant she wasn't going to vote Madison because of what happened with the Joe vote last week. She was like, I'm not going to vote her out. So they had to vote Sabrina because they were scared of Lydia. They know Lydia has an idol. So it's like, it's just weird dynamic. You're thinking, I want the best for me, but numbers is the game. You need people to vote with you. So if you're just going to vote whoever you want, you're not going to get them out. You're just voting, writing someone's name down. I think that the four of Cassidy, Holly, Lindsay, and Kevin should have, because it was such a critical week where they didn't know that Zach was going to flip, I think, but it could have been like there's a chance it was a 4-4, 5-3. Just, this is the week where it's like, my soccer coach would always say, when you're up 2, it's the most dangerous score, because if they score, it's a game again. If you score, you blow it open and then you win. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same with like alliance numbers. You're up two members in an alliance. It's very critical, because if it's like a 5-3, and then that one of the 3 goes home, it's 5-2. You are almost set. It's very hard to have a flip at 7. It happened in our season. We were 5-2 with Erica in the summer. Mm-hmm. There was not a shot we were going to break up at 7. It was too obvious to keep going. It's the same situation here. They were at I guess technically a 5-3. Kevin went both ways, but if you just looked at it like new soul plus Kevin and then new body plus Sabrina, it's like that's kind of how it was splitting up. And then it was like it was a 5-3, 4-4 kind of situation. Then Zach flips. Now it's a 4-4, 5-3, almost the other way. Mm-hmm. Thinking about how I'm losing my train of thought now. But like,
it's early.
It is too early. And at the end of the discussion, though, Kevin just he needed to think more, I think, numbers-wise, rather than just throwing away a vote and not pissing people off. And same for Holly, and obviously same for Cassidy. She went home. And same for Lindsay. Because I think Lindsay's also in a pretty troubled spot now. I don't really know if she has a huge amount of allies. Mm-hmm. Whose name did she write down again? I'm trying to remember. She wrote down...
Didn't she write down Lydia?
She wrote down Lydia's name. And that's not helping. Like, that's just keeping a target there. I mean, I guess she thought she might play her idol for Sabrina. Mm-hmm. But it was more important. The fact that alliance has 2 idols, too. Like, mm-hmm. it just swings the power so much in their favor in a week where it's a 4-4 kind of alliance tie or 5-3. It just... It's very intimidating in the minority to be like, oh my God, we know they have an idol. Or to be in the majority with that close to be like, oh my God, they have an idol. You guys, fucking season 2.
I don't want to talk about season 2. Season 2.
Biggest idol flops.
What? No, that's
yes.
Not even true.
Yes.
Wait, you mean like for when we played idols?
Oh, no, just trying to rate it. Also, when you try to play it.
I was never a part. I was never a part of actually playing idols. That was out of my control. That was all Jack using his idols on keeping Erica in the game, which I guess worked for Erica. She made it farther than everyone else.
She did. I'll stand by Erica's game. It wasn't bad.
No,
she just used her advantages wrong.
Yeah, I'll never understand why she needs the tribe swap at the swap, but that's neither here nor there. You just brought up Lindsay. Let's talk about where Lindsay's at right now, because Zach, who she's been working with like the whole game, it's been her, Zach, and Ryan. Zach has now flipped on her. Ryan is gone. She's now very clearly on the bottom. What does she do from here?
She's got to scramble. She's got to go into scramble mode. 1, go for that challenge. The next challenge you have, go for it, because you are stuck. 2. You have to scramble. You have to start talking to new people. You can't hold grudges against people for flipping. And I think if she does hold a grudge against Zach for flipping, that's the way she can cut herself off the most and hurt herself the most, because you need people. You can't get through it alone. If you're just sitting there alone right now with 7 people left, either one, someone's going to pick you up. But the way the game has gone and the way I think it's going to go, more likely, is that she's going to be picked off very soon, because it's 4 of 7. That's the smallest majority you can get. There's not much reason at this point in the game to flip unless the people within the 4, Zach, Sabrina, Lydia, and Madison, think they can't beat each other. But right now, I think they're all under the impression that they each are going to have the votes to win, which is interesting because that's not possible. Mm-hmm. Like it's not. They can't all have the votes to win. So I think it's going to be a very kind of Lindsay's got to like reintegrate herself and just talk to different people.
Mm. So out of that 4 you just mentioned, who all think they have the votes, who do you think actually would have the votes? Should any combination of them go to the final? Is it announced how many people are in the final yet? Do they know that already?
I think they do know it's a final 3. Yes, because
they said it in a vlog. They said it in a vlog.
And the Mind Body Soul advantage said it was going to be a final 3.
Yeah.
So I think let's go through each of them. Zach said he's been playing a social game in this past episode. Mm-hmm. And from when I was still in, he wasn't, because I mean, I was on his tribe. I never talked to him. Like, that's not very social.
Yeah.
I mean, phone works both ways. That's my fault too, but I digress. I think Zach, he basically, I feel like he started playing the game with the flip, because he was really riding coattails for a while. He wasted an idol when he didn't need to. Mm-hmm. He was kind of, I think people are kind of looking at him and trying to goad him along almost right now. I think that this flip, though, it does kind of like reignite his game a little bit. He has a chance to kind of start standing out now. And I think it's the right point in the game to do it. Like it's getting to crunch time. I mean, timing is everything, and timing is different with each cast of a Survivor season. But I think for this season, he is timing it at the right point. And I think this is that flip is good for his game, and he's going to go far with it. I think for Lydia has been, I never had played with Lydia when I was in. I didn't know people's perceptions of her, really. She was kind of like a blind spot for me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too worried about her until the merge, where I was going to just talk with Serena. But she is obviously strategic powerhouse, can just probably running like scenarios to her head all the time. I think it's not her game to lose. I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those 3 girls. Who I think is going to win is going to be Sabrina, Lydia, or Madison. Mm-hmm. They're simply in the best position. And I think Zach has the 4th best chance if he can do something with what he's done with this flip. I think Lydia, it's not her game to lose, but I think she's made not the shots, but she has pulled people in certain ways where she's needed to. Yeah. And following that with Sabrina, those 2 have been working together since the start. And I think they have 2 more similar games. And then Madison's kind of like here with her. She has a much different game because she has a more of a story. She has lost a lot of allies throughout the season. She found 2 idols. She played one, wasted it, didn't work, but she's kind of racked up all these advantages and made all these close relationships that have gotten sniped out. She hasn't done anything to save them, but she's still in, and she still has alliances. Mm-hmm. So it's not like not using those idols hurt her. Yeah. Like she still is in a majority alliance at the final 7. She's doing well. Madison V, inspirational. Thank you.
We'll give Madison go. He's a loyal viewer.
Happy someone's here.
When you were done talking, I was gonna say shout out to our 1 viewer right now. They really put it in the work.
Well, yeah, I think I didn't really talk about Sabrina's game. Sabrina, she obviously, like week 1, almost went home. She got swapped, was the only person on New Soul. And she's been able to not be a target and just go under the radar. And now she's like coming out and playing, and she's controlling votes with Lydia and Madison. And they are running the game. Like they're running the show with this week. Just kind of confirmed it. They got blindsided completely last week with the Joe vote, and they just retook control of the game this week, and it's quite amazing, I think. Yeah. Question?
I was making sure you had nothing else to say. Talk to me about these 2 idols that are still in play. We're at final 8 now.
Yeah.
Final 8. It can go for three more weeks.
No,
Final 5.
final 8 just happened. They just voted outcast.
Oh, so now they're at 7.
So now they're at 7.
Okay,
2 more
so
weeks.
2 more weeks until those idols get played.
I mean,
do you think they're gonna get played, or are they gonna just be thrown out just to be thrown out so they don't get wasted? Like, I mean, are they gonna really affect these next 2 votes? I just spit everywhere. I apologize.
I mean, so there's 3 tribals left where they can, or 3 vote ups left where they can play an idol. 7, 6, 5. Madison has one and Lydia has one, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think at this point in the game, they should 100% hold those to a final 5 and play them at a final 5. They're in the majority alliance. If they feel things are going according to plan, do not let yourself get paranoid and play the idol. 7 is a very historically flip-floppy week, very swingy. But I just feel the way that this season has gone compared to season 2, there was not an idol even played until 9 votes in. It was like the right before the merge, Zach played his idol. That was the first idol played, and it didn't do anything. And then the only other idol we had played was Madison's last week.
Yeah.
So idols have had no effect on this game so far. But they have the threat effect still. There's always like oh my God, there's an idol. That's what happened to me when I was playing this past season. Is I was worried about an idol because season 2 was just idol get it, and then
idol get it,
and now season 3 was like it's season 3 is so much more social. It's crazy, so much more social, and so strategic. Like season 2, super strategic. This season is a lot more like politics almost. So it's the idols. It's almost like people get hurt by the use of the idol. Almost, it feels like.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I 100% think though, Madison, Lydia, keep it for yourselves until final 5. If you're at final 5, play it. If you have immunity at final 5 and you have that idol, use it to set yourself up to win. Don't hold on to it. I think that having Julie at the end, it's one thing to say I didn't have to use this. I think that's a good argument, but I also think it's better if you can use the power it has and create some agency for yourself.
What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know, fits of the week. I don't know.
We're up to 3 viewers now.
Oh wow!
This is the most of the day. Shout out to our
welcome
3
everyone.
Viewers. All right. Who do you think in this last episode who had the best episode? MVP of the episode.
MVP. I want to say. I want to give it to Zach. I think because he took himself from 100% GOAT to he brought his game up significantly this episode. But it's hard to choose between Lydia, Madison, and Sabrina because I think they really are the stars right now, and they're running it. So I feel like one of them should get it. They kind of got that vote together, but I am going to give it to Zach because I think Zach he helped himself out a lot this episode. Yeah, and I think he now he gave himself a chance, and I think that it's good for him.
So we talked about Holly and Lindsay being in precarious positions earlier. Do you think it's one of them who are going home next, or is there someone else who you think it could be?
If it's not Holly or Lindsay, I think it'd be Kevin. I don't see those 4 breaking up next week. I just don't. It would be stupid. It would. If they split up after 1 vote, I think it'd be great. I'd love to see it. It'd be so fun to watch, but I just think it would be really stupid for their games to do that. Maybe not even Zach. It wouldn't be stupid for Zach necessarily. I think Zach could fill in this role to the flip-flopper that Joe left when he got voted out. He could start doing that. But I think Madison, Lydia, and Sabrina, their best bet is sticking together with Zach and trying to get to the end. And just fucking steamroll the rest of the way.
So I guess we will start to wrap up in a few minutes, but of those 4, when it comes time for them to break, who's going to be the one to break it?
Oh, it's
All
gonna
right,
be.
you need to shut up.
It's gonna be whoever
Do
is
not
the biggest
disturb.
jury threat, and you don't know who the biggest jury threat is right now because that's still 7. You have 7, 6, 5, and then to get to 4, you're not gonna be able to really tell who's the biggest jury threat at that moment until you get to that moment. But it's going to be whoever's gonna have the chance of getting the most votes. Now it's interesting because Madison has a mind body soul advantage, which it changes up the jury votes. She can she can steal one or she just negates it?
I think it's a block. So
It's a block. Okay, so it just negates it. So she could. It might not she could be in a situation where it might not even matter who she takes as long as she plays that advantage right. She can win by 1, no matter if she takes Sabrina, Lydia, or Zach, any combination of them. I think right now who the biggest jury threat is, I would say Lydia or Sabrina. I think a lot of Madison's close relationships did go home before jury, so that doesn't help her. And I think Sabrina has not pissed anyone off. She's just she's a very free spirit and she didn't piss anyone off.
No, not at all.
And then I think Lydia has just a different way. She has a different portrayal of her game almost, where it's she has pissed people off, but it's strategically. So it's it might not hurt her.
So do you think the 4 of them, this new kind of 4-person alliance of Lydia, Madison, Sabrina, and Zach, do they stay together until Final 4 and they have to start voting each other off? Or do they break
hope they do.
Then?
For their sake, I hope they do. For viewership's sake, I hope someone mixes it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would be surprised. I think they're too smart. I think Lydia, they're all fans of the show.
Yeah.
I think they're all too smart, too big of fans to risk their chance of being I get to the end game. I don't think they would risk that. So I think they are going to stay together. Right. But I hope for Holly, Lindsay, and I don't know, Kevin's in an interesting spot too. He still has ties to Sabrina and Lydia. Mm. They've been on mine since the beginning. I think it's hard. He has pissed off a lot of people though. He has flip-flopped, but I think if you can play the flip-flop game correctly, there was a comment on the most recent episode, James Shim. He was talking about how Kevin it's gracefully but ungracefully flip-flops every week and still manages to get himself into a decent enough position. Mm-hmm. So that made me laugh. And I was it's true. Kevin, he's so chaotic, but he's making it work. He's using it. I just hope for him. I think he will be able to break up the 4. If anyone is going to, out of those 3, it's going to be Kevin because of his relationships with Lydia and Sabrina. We could see a Mind Tribe Final 3. We don't know.
That would be
it'd be
very crazy.
An original Mind Final 3. We also still have someone from Mind and Soul and Body left, so we could get a 1-1-1. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I'm totally out of questions. I've been trying to think of stuff as you talk to me, and I haven't been able to think.
Do any of our viewers have questions?
We have.
I'm ready to answer.
Guys, this is season 3 contestant and now president Michael Rizzuto.
Hello.
You gotta ask him stuff. He knows what he's talking about.
This is so college right now. We're so hashtag college.
I feel we're trying to become Twitch streamers. And no one is engaging with us.
Boo you, Sabrina. Where's Kevin and his hashtags?
Yeah, if I don't see Kevin's comment in 10 seconds, he's officially fake. Oh, there he is.
Love our community, love our friends.
Sabrina asked how our morning was.
I don't know, kind of feverish.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a fever dream. For sure.
Yeah.
Game day, more of a fever dream. See, season 3, great vibes, great community we have going on here. But I don't know. Is there anything left to talk about? Prediction. We talked about predictions. We
did some predictions.
We did predictions.
Favorite moment of the episode?
I think it was Kevin. It was a confessional from Kevin, and I don't remember what he said, but it was funny. It made me laugh, which is most of his confessionals. I think he was talking about flipping again. He's just like, I don't know, I cut. Yeah, I love the chaos that he brings. Also, I love a good blanket moment. Who wore it best this episode? Kevin and his blanket. Always.
Can never lose. Undefeated when Kevin wears a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if he just wears his blanket to everything we do, he might never go home.
Oh my God. Will Kevin return for a future season? Who knows? Stay tuned. Find out. Keep watching.
Who asked that?
think I asked that. It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, man. I think we need to wrap this up.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for tuning in.
This post show. It was a bit late and thrown together because obviously the schedule is harder now that we have started school. Hopefully we will create a more consistent post show
schedule. Yeah.
I mean,
for
there's
sure,
only
but we do have a consistent episode schedule where
that's what really matters.
Episode 14, penultimate episode of the season, airs 7 p.m. Thursday. Be there.
Oh, that was good. We said it at the same time. All right. Thank you to Sabrina, Kevin, and Madison for being our 3 viewers today. You guys are
You were awesome.
You were great. Okay.
Hashtag Syrvivor, hashtag logging off, hashtag bye.
Goodbye.